In the vast expanse of the cosmos, where stars danced like diamonds scattered across black velvet, there existed a world unlike any other. The planet Velora shimmered with an ethereal beauty that defied human comprehension, its atmosphere refracting light into cascading rainbows that painted the skies in perpetual wonder. At the heart of this magnificent realm stood Princess Alarina, her very presence embodying the grace and mystery of her people. Her skin held the luminescent quality of moonlight on water, shifting through delicate hues of silver and pearl, while her eyes captured the essence of ancient galaxies, swirling with colors no earthborn artist could faithfully replicate. The Velorians were beings of profound sophistication, their civilization having mastered technologies that made even humanity's most advanced achievements seem primitive by comparison. Their cities floated gracefully above the surface of their planet, constructed from living crystal that pulsed with gentle energy. These structures adapted to the needs of their inhabitants, reshaping themselves as naturally as breathing. The air itself seemed alive with harmony, carrying melodies that resonated at frequencies both heard and felt deep within one's soul. Yet beneath this apparent utopia lay a darkness that threatened to consume everything the Velorians held dear. Princess Alarina, despite her regal bearing and celestial beauty, carried a burden heavier than any physical weight. A mysterious condition had been slowly draining her life force, manifesting in subtle ways that only those closest to her could detect. Her luminous skin dimmed slightly with each passing cycle of their triple suns, and the vibrant colors in her eyes began to fade, like paint washing away in a cosmic storm. The royal healers, masters of bioluminescent medicine and quantum cellular repair, found themselves powerless against whatever afflicted their beloved princess. Ancient texts spoke of similar cases throughout Velorian history, each ending in tragedy despite every attempt at intervention. The Council of Elders, wise beyond measure yet bound by tradition, insisted upon maintaining isolation from other worlds. They believed that contact with lesser evolved species would contaminate their pure society, despite centuries of peaceful coexistence with neighboring star systems. This stubborn adherence to protocol left Alarina trapped between the walls of her crystalline palace, watching helplessly as her strength ebbed away. She spent countless hours gazing through transparent walls at the floating gardens below, where flowers bloomed in impossible shapes and colors, their petals unfolding to reveal miniature galaxies within. Each petal's delicate beauty served as a cruel reminder of what she was losing, the very essence of life itself. Her attendants whispered among themselves about the princess's growing despair, noting how she would often disappear for hours, seeking solitude in the observation dome that offered a panoramic view of the universe beyond. From there, she could see distant stars twinkling like hopeful promises, some of them cradling worlds that might hold answers to her condition. But the Council's restrictions remained firm, creating an invisible barrier more confining than any physical prison. The irony wasn't lost on Alarina, a being capable of manipulating subatomic particles with a thought, reduced to helplessness by something she couldn't even name. On a small blue planet orbiting a modest yellow star, Dr. Marcus Hale worked tirelessly in his modest laboratory, surrounded by equipment that seemed almost primitive compared to Velorian technology. His passion for xenobiology had driven him to specialize in the study of alien lifeforms, though his actual experience was limited to theoretical models and rare samples brought back by deep space probes. The medical community often dismissed his work as impractical, preferring to focus on more immediate concerns affecting Earth's population. Yet Marcus possessed an insatiable curiosity about the potential for cross-species medical breakthroughs, believing that understanding alien biology could revolutionize human medicine. His research had caught the attention of SETI scientists when he published a groundbreaking paper on universal cellular structures, identifying common patterns in DNA sequences across multiple known alien species. The implications were staggering, suggesting that life throughout the universe shared fundamental building blocks, regardless of its outward form or evolutionary path. This discovery earned him access to classified data from various space agencies, including detailed reports about brief encounters with advanced civilizations. Among these documents, one particular case file intrigued him more than others: observations of a distant world with crystalline structures that exhibited biological properties, accompanied by rumors of an ailing royal figure whose condition baffled even their advanced medical science. Marcus's personal life reflected his professional dedication. He lived alone in a modest apartment near his lab, spending most nights poring over data or running simulations on his quantum computer. His former colleagues joked that he spoke more languages, including several alien ones, than he did words to actual people. Yet beneath this exterior of academic obsession beat a compassionate heart, one that genuinely cared about advancing medical knowledge for all intelligent life. His parents' early deaths from genetic disorders had instilled in him a determination to conquer disease wherever it might exist, whether on Earth or among the stars. When the opportunity arose to participate in a secret diplomatic mission to establish contact with the reclusive Velorians, Marcus volunteered immediately. The official purpose involved cultural exchange and scientific cooperation, but Marcus suspected there was more to the mission. Classified briefings hinted at a humanitarian aspect, though details remained frustratingly vague. Regardless, he prepared meticulously, studying everything available about Velorian physiology and culture. As he packed his medical supplies and research equipment, he couldn't shake the feeling that destiny itself had orchestrated this moment, bringing together his lifelong work with a chance to make a difference on a truly cosmic scale. The initial contact between human and Velorian representatives occurred aboard a neutral space station orbiting a dying red giant star. Marcus found himself standing before delegates whose very presence challenged everything he thought he knew about life and consciousness. The Velorians communicated through a complex combination of harmonic resonance and visual displays projected from their crystalline bodies, requiring specialized translation devices to bridge the gap between species. As formalities gave way to substantive discussions, Marcus's expertise in xenobiology became increasingly valuable, especially when the topic turned to medical collaboration. During one particularly tense session, the Velorian lead negotiator, a towering figure named Caliph whose crystalline structure refracted light into mesmerizing patterns, suddenly collapsed. Marcus's training kicked in automatically, overriding diplomatic protocols as he rushed to the alien side. Despite their vastly different physiology, certain principles of emergency response transcended species boundaries. Using a portable scanner modified for alien biology, he detected a sudden disruption in Caliph's energy patterns, akin to an electrical short circuit in organic circuitry. With quick thinking and precise application of adaptive medical technology, Marcus stabilized the situation, earning the respect of his hosts. This incident paved the way for deeper engagement with Velorian medical practices. Marcus was granted unprecedented access to their healing facilities, where he witnessed procedures that blended quantum mechanics with biological processes in ways that defied conventional medical understanding. The Velorians utilized living crystals as both diagnostic tools and treatment instruments, their structures responding to patients' conditions with remarkable precision. However, Marcus also observed limitations in their approach, particularly in dealing with conditions that didn't conform to established patterns. His questions about these anomalies led to increasingly frank discussions with Velorian healers, who reluctantly admitted to encountering diseases they couldn't cure. Through these exchanges, Marcus developed innovative techniques that combined human medical methodology with Velorian technology. He introduced statistical analysis methods to track treatment effectiveness across populations, created hybrid diagnostic tools that merged quantum scanning with traditional biochemistry, and proposed new approaches to cellular repair based on universal principles he'd identified in his earlier research. The Velorians, initially skeptical of human contributions, gradually recognized the value of this cross-cultural collaboration. Trust built slowly but steadily, until one day Caliph approached Marcus with a request so sensitive that it required moving their conversation to the most secure chamber in the space station. The revelation came during a private meeting in the Crystalline Council chamber, where Marcus found himself surrounded by Velorian elders whose collective wisdom spanned millennia. Through the translation interface, Caliph conveyed the truth about Princess Alarina's condition, a degenerative disorder that resisted all known treatments, threatening not just her life but potentially the entire royal lineage. The implications extended far beyond medical concern. As the sole heir to the Velorian throne, her survival was crucial to maintaining stability in their society. Marcus listened intently, his mind racing with possibilities as he processed the physiological data provided by the council. Despite the gravity of the situation, Marcus maintained professional composure while internally grappling with the enormity of what was being asked. The Velorians had exhausted every conceivable approach within their advanced medical system, yet here they were, turning to a human doctor whose technology seemed primitive by comparison. He requested access to all available medical records and conducted extensive tests using both human and Velorian diagnostic equipment. What he discovered was both fascinating and alarming. The princess's condition represented a previously unknown interaction between quantum fields and biological processes, one that neither species fully understood. The first face-to-face meeting between Marcus and Princess Alarina took place in a specially designed chamber that merged human medical requirements with Velorian environmental needs. As she entered, supported by her attendants, Marcus felt an unexpected jolt of recognition. Her diminishing glow bore similarities to energy depletion patterns he'd observed in quantum biological experiments on Earth. More significantly, her condition triggered memories of rare human mitochondrial disorders, suggesting possible parallels between their species' energy processing mechanisms. The princess regarded him with eyes that still retained traces of their galactic beauty, though now clouded by suffering and resignation. Their initial interactions proved challenging, hindered by more than just language barriers. Velorian social protocols demanded a level of formality that clashed with Marcus's direct medical approach, while his human mannerisms appeared crude to Velorian sensibilities. Yet through careful observation and respectful persistence, Marcus began establishing a rapport with the princess. He noticed how her fingers traced patterns on nearby crystal surfaces when deep in thought, a habit that revealed both intelligence and vulnerability. During examinations, he adopted a gentler touch with his instruments, allowing her time to adjust to unfamiliar procedures. As Marcus delved deeper into Alarina's condition, he encountered phenomena that defied conventional medical understanding. Her cellular structure operated on principles that merged quantum entanglement with biological function, creating a living matrix more complex than anything documented in human or Velorian medical literature. Traditional treatments failed because they addressed either the biological or quantum aspects separately, rather than recognizing their inseparable nature. Observing her reactions to various stimuli, Marcus formulated a revolutionary hypothesis. The princess's body might be attempting to evolve beyond its current state, but lacked the necessary resources to complete the transformation successfully. These insights sparked heated debates among both human and Velorian medical experts. Some argued that interfering further could accelerate the deterioration, while others saw potential in Marcus's theory of facilitated evolution. The princess herself remained largely silent during these discussions, her fading presence casting a shadow over every argument. Yet Marcus detected moments of hope in her gaze when he explained his ideas, particularly when describing how human medicine had overcome similar evolutionary hurdles in treating rare genetic conditions. The challenge lay in translating these concepts into practical treatment methods that respected both species' medical philosophies while addressing the unique aspects of her condition. The work consumed Marcus completely, blurring the lines between duty and personal commitment. Long hours spent analyzing data and developing treatment protocols transformed into marathon sessions where he pushed the boundaries of both human and Velorian medical science. His makeshift laboratory became a fusion of technologies, where quantum scanners hummed alongside traditional microscopes, and crystalline diagnostic tools interfaced with human computers through interfaces he jury-rigged himself. The princess's condition deteriorated faster than anticipated, forcing him to accelerate his efforts while maintaining meticulous documentation of every observation and experiment. Alarina's presence in the laboratory grew more frequent as her trust in Marcus deepened. She began contributing insights from Velorian medical traditions, explaining how certain quantum states corresponded to emotional well-being or spiritual balance. These revelations opened new avenues of investigation, leading Marcus to develop hybrid treatments that addressed not just physical symptoms but also the energetic and psychological aspects of her condition. They worked side by side, often forgetting to rest as they chased promising leads through the night. The princess's attendants watched with growing concern as their ruler dedicated herself to this unprecedented collaboration, sometimes working until her weakened body could no longer support her. Political tensions mounted as news of their progress spread through Velorian society. Conservative factions viewed the human doctor's involvement as a threat to their cultural purity, while progressive elements saw hope in this interstellar partnership. Marcus found himself navigating not just medical challenges but also the complex web of Velorian politics. The council's initial reluctance evolved into cautious support, though some members continued to question whether helping their princess was worth compromising their isolationist policies. Security measures tightened around their work area, and Marcus occasionally caught glimpses of shadowy figures observing their activities from concealed vantage points. Despite these pressures, breakthroughs began emerging. Marcus discovered that certain combinations of human pharmaceutical compounds, when integrated with Velorian energy-based treatments, produced effects that neither approach could achieve alone. The princess's condition showed signs of stabilization, though complete recovery remained elusive. More importantly, their collaborative efforts revealed fundamental truths about the nature of life itself, how biological and quantum processes intertwined in ways that transcended individual species. These findings suggested possibilities for medical advancement that could benefit both humans and Velorians, creating a foundation for future cooperation that extended far beyond treating a single patient. Yet amidst the scientific triumphs, personal connections deepened in ways neither had anticipated. Late-night conversations about treatment strategies evolved into discussions about their respective cultures, fears, and hopes. Marcus shared stories of Earth's struggles and triumphs, while Alarina described Velorian history and philosophy. Their laughter during moments of frustration became a source of strength, and their mutual respect blossomed into something more profound. The princess's attendants noted how her demeanor changed, how her fading glow seemed to pulse with renewed vitality when working with the human doctor. Even those who opposed their collaboration couldn't deny the palpable connection between them, a bond that transcended species and united two beings in a shared mission to defy fate itself. The political landscape surrounding their work grew increasingly volatile, with opposing forces clashing over the implications of human-Velorian collaboration. Conservative Velorian factions, led by Elder Silverin, orchestrated a campaign to discredit Marcus's efforts, spreading rumors that his treatments were contaminating Velorian purity. They cited ancient prophecies warning against mixing with lesser species, manipulating public sentiment through carefully crafted holographic broadcasts that depicted terrifying visions of cultural decay. Meanwhile, progressive groups rallied behind the princess and Marcus, organizing demonstrations in floating crystal gardens and projecting images of their successful treatments across the planet's sky dome networks. Earth's government faced its own internal conflicts. While the scientific community celebrated the unprecedented interspecies medical collaboration, military and security branches expressed concerns about technological exchange. Certain factions worried that sharing human medical knowledge might expose vulnerabilities to potential future conflicts, while others saw strategic advantages in forming closer ties with such an advanced civilization. Diplomatic channels buzzed with encrypted communications as Earth's leaders debated how much support to offer Marcus without compromising planetary security interests. Amidst this turmoil, Marcus and Alarina's relationship deepened in ways that complicated their already challenging situation. Their professional partnership evolved into something more intimate, though neither dared voice their feelings openly. The princess found herself drawn to Marcus's unwavering determination and genuine compassion, qualities that reminded her of forgotten virtues in her own society. For Marcus, Alarina's courage in facing her mortality while fighting for her people's future inspired a devotion that transcended professional duty. Yet every stolen glance and hesitant touch carried the weight of potential consequences. For her position, for his mission, for the fragile peace between their worlds. Security incidents multiplied as tensions escalated. Unknown saboteurs tampered with laboratory equipment, forcing Marcus to implement elaborate verification protocols for every treatment component. Shadowy figures began following him through Velorian corridors, their crystalline forms flickering with hostile intent. The princess's personal guards doubled their vigilance, creating an oppressive atmosphere that threatened to suffocate their work. Yet through it all, Marcus and Alarina pressed forward, driven by a shared conviction that their collaboration represented something greater than either of them, a bridge between worlds that could transform the future of both species. Their perseverance began yielding remarkable results. Marcus's hybrid treatment protocols, combining human biochemical approaches with Velorian quantum manipulation, showed unprecedented success rates. Patients who had suffered from similar conditions to the princesses began showing improvement, validating their controversial methods. These successes emboldened progressive Velorians to push harder for reform, while giving conservative factions more ammunition for their arguments about contamination of pure Velorian medical traditions. The laboratory became a battleground of ideologies, with every successful treatment sparking both celebration and condemnation across Velorian society. As the situation reached a critical juncture, with political forces converging and personal stakes higher than ever, Marcus and Alarina found themselves facing decisions that would shape not just their own futures, but potentially the destiny of two civilizations. The treatments had progressed to a point where continuation required choices that transcended medical considerations, touching upon matters of sovereignty, cultural identity, and the very nature of life itself. In this crucible of conflict and possibility, their journey approached a threshold that neither could have anticipated when their paths first crossed among the stars. Just as Marcus and Alarina believed they were nearing a breakthrough, an unexpected twist shattered their fragile progress. During a routine analysis of the princess's cellular structure, Marcus discovered something that stopped him cold, a microscopic pattern embedded within her biology that bore an eerie resemblance to artificial coding. It wasn't natural or organic, it was synthetic, as though someone had deliberately engineered her condition. The revelation sent shockwaves through both their minds. Was this illness not a random affliction but rather a calculated attack? The implications were staggering. If true, it meant there was a traitor among the Velorian elite, or worse, an external force manipulating events from the shadows. Alarina's hands trembled as she processed the discovery, her luminous eyes dimming further with anger and betrayal. "How could this happen?" she whispered, her voice laced with disbelief. Marcus, ever the scientist, struggled to remain objective, but even he couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in his gut. Someone had weaponized medicine against one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, and they had done so with precision. Before they could delve deeper into the mystery, another complication arose. Earth's government intercepted communications suggesting that rogue factions within humanity might be involved. Classified reports hinted at clandestine experiments conducted decades ago on alien DNA samples recovered from derelict spacecraft. These experiments had been shut down due to ethical concerns, but now evidence suggested that some researchers had continued their work in secret, driven by dreams of creating hybrid technologies, or weapons. The possibility that humans were responsible for Alarina's suffering forced Marcus to confront his own species' darker impulses. As if the situation weren't dire enough, a new player entered the fray. A mysterious figure known only as the Architect began contacting Marcus through encrypted channels. This enigmatic entity claimed to represent neither human nor Velorian interests, but instead spoke of a third faction, an ancient, interstellar coalition dedicated to preserving balance across civilizations. The Architect revealed knowledge of the synthetic code infecting Alarina and offered assistance, but at a price. They demanded access to all research data generated during Marcus and Alarina's collaboration, ostensibly to prevent similar attacks elsewhere in the cosmos. However, their motives felt opaque, leaving Marcus wary of trusting them. Meanwhile, tensions between conservative and progressive Velorian factions reached a boiling point. Elder Silverin, leader of the Traditionalists, publicly accused Marcus of orchestrating the entire crisis to undermine Velorian sovereignty. His inflammatory rhetoric ignited protests across the planet, with holographic mobs gathering outside the floating palace. Some called for Marcus's immediate expulsion, while others rallied behind Alarina, viewing her partnership with the human doctor as a symbol of hope. Amidst the chaos, Calith, the towering Velorian who had once collapsed during negotiations, approached Marcus privately. With visible hesitation, Calith confessed that he too suspected foul play and urged Marcus to investigate further, hinting at hidden records deep within the crystalline archives. Alarina, meanwhile, made a shocking decision. Fearing that her presence endangered not only herself but also the stability of her people, she announced plans to abdicate the throne. Her announcement stunned both Marcus and the Velorian Council. "If my existence threatens our society," she declared, "then I must step aside." Marcus pleaded with her to reconsider, arguing that abandoning her role would only embolden those seeking to divide them. But Alarina remained resolute, her determination tinged with sorrow. In private, she admitted to Marcus that stepping down was less about protecting her people and more about ensuring he survived. She feared what might happen if their enemies targeted him next. Their relationship grew increasingly fraught under the weight of these revelations. Marcus wrestled with guilt, wondering whether his involvement had inadvertently placed Alarina in greater danger. For her part, Alarina grappled with conflicting emotions: love for Marcus, duty to her people, and despair over the machinations threatening to tear everything apart. Their stolen moments together became bittersweet, filled with unspoken fears and fleeting touches that carried the weight of goodbye. Then came the ultimate twist. The Architect provided irrefutable proof that the synthetic code infecting Alarina originated not from rogue human scientists but from within Velorian society itself. Decades earlier, a secretive cabal of Velorian elders had experimented with genetic engineering, aiming to enhance their species' quantum capabilities. When the project produced unstable results, they abandoned it, burying the truth beneath layers of denial. Unbeknownst to them, remnants of their experiments lay dormant in royal bloodlines, manifesting generations later in Alarina's body. The revelation shattered any remaining illusions of purity or superiority among the Velorians, exposing cracks in their supposedly flawless civilization. With time running out and trust eroding on all sides, Marcus devised a bold plan. He proposed using the combined resources of human and Velorian science to rewrite the synthetic code, not just to heal Alarina but to neutralize its potential threat entirely. It was a risky gambit, requiring unprecedented cooperation between two species still grappling with mutual suspicion. Yet Alarina saw it as their only chance. Together, they prepared to take a leap of faith, knowing full well that failure could mean the end of everything they held dear. But as they stood on the precipice of this monumental endeavor, a final twist emerged, one that would test their resolve like never before. Deep within the crystalline archives, Caliph unearthed a prophecy older than recorded history. According to the ancient text, the union of a star-born princess and an earthbound healer would herald either the salvation or destruction of countless worlds. The prophecy spoke of trials yet to come, choices that would ripple across galaxies, and sacrifices that would echo through eternity. As Marcus and Alarina read the words etched in shimmering crystal, they realized that their journey was far from over, and that the stakes extended far beyond their personal fates. In this moment of revelation, surrounded by uncertainty and peril, they faced a choice. Would they embrace destiny, no matter where it led? Or would they retreat, allowing fear and division to dictate the future? The answers lay hidden in the stars, waiting to be uncovered, one courageous step at a time. Marcus and Alarina stood together in the heart of the crystalline laboratory, their resolve hardened by the prophecy's weight. "If this is our path," Alarina said softly, her voice steady despite the storm raging outside, "then we must walk it without fear." Marcus nodded, gripping her hand tightly. "Together," he replied, his human warmth blending with her fading glow. The procedure began, a delicate dance of quantum manipulation and biochemical precision. As they worked, the synthetic code resisted, fighting back like a living entity. Alarina gasped as waves of pain coursed through her, but Marcus refused to yield. Drawing on every ounce of knowledge from both species, he adapted the treatment in real time, guided by Alarina's intuition about her own body's rhythms. Suddenly, an explosion rocked the facility. Conservative Velorians, desperate to halt the experiment, had breached the lab. Guards swarmed in, weapons trained on Marcus. But before they could act, Caliph intervened, his towering form glowing with defiance. "Enough!" he thundered. "This ends now, for all of us." Amidst the chaos, the architect appeared, not as a hologram, but physically present, revealing themselves to be a hybrid being of human and alien origin. Their existence proved that such unions were not only possible but necessary for survival. With their help, Marcus completed the final sequence, flooding Alarina's system with a countercode designed to rewrite the infection at its core. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, Alarina's glow returned, stronger, brighter, more vibrant than ever before. Her eyes sparkled with galaxies reborn. Cheers erupted among the progressive Velorians watching via live broadcast, while conservatives fell silent, their arguments crumbling in the face of undeniable success. But the victory came at a cost. The strain of the procedure left Marcus unconscious, his body taxed beyond its limits. Alarina knelt beside him, tears streaming down her face as she realized the depth of his sacrifice. "Wake up," she whispered, clutching his hand. "You've given me everything. I won't let you leave me now." Hours later, Marcus stirred, his gaze meeting hers. "Did it work?" he asked weakly. Alarina smiled, her light enveloping him like a warm embrace. "It did," she said. "Because of you." In the days that followed, the political landscape shifted dramatically. Elder Silverin resigned in disgrace, paving the way for reforms that embraced interspecies collaboration. Alarina reclaimed her throne, vowing to lead her people toward unity rather than division. Marcus stayed by her side, becoming not just her partner but a symbol of hope across worlds. Yet their journey was far from over. The architect revealed that the synthetic code had spread beyond Velora, infecting other civilizations across the stars. Together, Marcus and Alarina vowed to continue their mission, traveling the galaxy to heal what had been broken. As they prepared to depart on their first voyage, standing beneath twin suns casting golden light over the floating palace, Alarina turned to Marcus. "Whatever comes next," she said, "we'll face it together." He smiled, taking her hand once more. "Always." And so, hand in hand, they stepped into the unknown, a princess and a doctor bound by love, duty, and destiny, ready to shape the future of countless worlds. Their story wasn't just one of healing. It was a testament to the power of connection, proving that even in the vastness of space, no star burns alone.